Good morning, children. Welcome to our chemistry online class. I hope all of you are fine. So, in last class, we discussed about Mendeleev's periodic table. There we have seen some limitations. So, in order to overcome the limitations, the new model came, that is our Moseley's modern periodic table. So, this modern periodic table is given by the scientist Henry Moseley. So, he proposed this model. So, from Mendeleev's periodic table, there is a different variation in the Moseley's periodic table. That is, he conducted the experiments using X-rays and he identified that the actual nuclear charge that is based on not atomic mass, it is based on atomic number. So, it was his identification and he rearranged the elements in the order of atomic number. In Mendeleev's case, he arranged the element in the increasing order of atomic mass, whereas the Henry Moseley arranged elements in the increasing order of atomic number. So, he said the fundamental properties of an atom is based on its atomic number because the nucleus mass, it contains protons, neutrons, and the mass of an atom is mainly depend upon atomic number. So, he said he arranged elements in the increasing order of atomic number. So let's see what is the modern periodic table of Moseley's and what is the periodic law of Moseley. So the modern periodic table in 1913, Henry Moseley showed that atomic number of an element was more fundamental property than atomic mass, and his modern periodic law is properties of elements are the periodic functions of their atomic number. That is, according to the atomic number, the properties of elements are repeating. For example, if you starting from one element after a certain limit, if you are arranging elements in the increasing order of atomic number, after a certain limit, some elements are showing the properties of the first element, that is repeating, that is periodic. Periodic means repeating. So that was his identification. Based on that, he proposed the model of periodic table. In that periodic table, we can see the periodic table. This is the periodic table proposed by Moseley. So this is the periodic table of elements we are using now. Here you can see, we know the limitations of Mendeleev's periodic table are, the first limitation is he couldn't give a proper place for hydrogen. So here we can see the place of hydrogen above the first group, above this first group elements he put hydrogen. So he could give a proper place for hydrogen. And the next one is he could, the Mendeleev's periodic table, he couldn't give proper place for isotopes. But in the case of modern periodic table, he said if you check isotopes having same atomic number. So he gave a place for isotope which having same as atomic number. So he could give a proper place for isotopes. And the next one is in the case of cobalt and nickel, Mendeleev's couldn't give or couldn't assign a proper place for cobalt and nickel, and the arrangement is not following the increasing order of atomic mass in the case of cobalt and nickel. But in the case of modern periodic table, here we can see we are arranging the elements in the increasing of atomic number, so there is no issues. Here you can see after cobalt only nickel came. So that he could overcome the limitations of Mendeleev's periodic table. So if we check this periodic table, we can see these vertical columns. For example, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium, which contain the vertical column. Here you can see the first one, second. If you count like this, there are 18 vertical columns in the periodic table. These 18 vertical columns are known as groups. These 18 vertical columns are known as groups. The modern periodic table consists of 18 groups. And this horizontal rows, for example, the first row which contain hydrogen and helium and lithium. This is the second row, that is lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and neon. So this is the second row. Like this, the horizontal rows. These horizontal rows are known as periods. If we count, we could identify that there are 7 rows in the periodic table. So there are 18 groups and 7 periods in the modern periodic table. And if you check which is the shortest period, The first period is the shortest periods. It is consists of hydrogen and helium. It consists only two elements. And if we check here, the seventh period is an incomplete period. And here you can see a separate place which given for some elements. This is known as lanthanide series, and it is known as actinide series. Why it is known as lanthanides? Because after lanthanum, here is the correct position of lanthanum. So after lanthanum, some elements are showing same property. So he could arrange the elements in the as lanthanides and actinides. Then why he put elements? What is the basis of arranging elements in a group? How can we put some elements in a same group? For example, if we check the first group elements, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. So the basis of arranging the elements in the same slot or same group is by one of the reasons their electronic configuration. So we know the electronic configuration. Electronic configuration is the distribution of electrons in shells. And if we check the first group elements, the electronic configuration will be, we know the atomic number. Atom number is number of protons or number of electrons. So we can identify the electronic configuration based on atomic number. So if you check the periodic table here, the lithium's atomic number is 3. And how can we distribute this electron? So 2 1 in K shell 2 electrons, L shell 1 electron, so 2 1. And for example, if you check the second elements, its electronic configuration is, that is sodium, its atomic number is 11, so the electronic configuration is 2 8 1. Similar to that, if we can find out the electronic configuration of other elements. And if you check here, what you can identify from this, if you check this electronic configuration, can you relate it with anything? Can you identify any relation between this? And if you check the electronic configuration, you can identify that in the outermost shell, that is the last shell of the atom is known as outermost shell or valence shell. If you check the valence shell of lithium, it consists of 1 electron. If you check sodium, it is also consists of 1 electron. If you check potassium, it will consist of 1 electron. If you move to rubidium or cesium or francium, it will also consist of 1 electron. So their group number is 1, number of valence electron also 1. So this is the base. This is the basis of arranging electron in a same group. So if we check a group of elements, they all having same valence electron. So it is the one of the basis of arranging electrons in the same group. And if you check lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium, they all are metal. We can see here the arrangements of elements and the group of the periodic table. The first group is known as alkali metals. They all are metals. For example, if you check this red color denoting metals, so if you check periodic table, the first group elements all are metals, second group all are metal, and third from these all are metals. And so the all first group elements are metals and they are highly reactive. We check sodium and potassium, they are highly reactive. We check with other elements also, they are very reactive. So these all elements are showing similar properties, hence they are putting together in a same group. And if you move to the next group, why it is known as alkali metals? Why? Because if it is react with water, it will produce alkali, that is base. They have the ability to make base, hence it is known as alkali metals. For example, lithium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, these are all the bases of alkali metals. Then next one is alkaline earth metals. The second group elements are known as alkaline earth metals. They also having the ability to form bases, but they are found in the earth. That's why they are known as alkaline earth metals. Then from third group to 12 group elements are known as transition metals. Why? Because they are showing the transition from metals to non-metals. If we check all the left side of the periodic table, we can see the metals and they are showing the transition from metals to non-metals. So the left side we can see all metals, but in the right side we can see non-metals. So they are showing the transition from metals to non-metals, hence it is known as transition metals. Then the 13th group elements are known as boron. The first element in 13th group is boron. Here we can see it is boron, and the first element is boron, hence it is known as boron family. And the 14th group elements, first element is carbon, hence it is known as carbon family. And nitrogen family, oxygen family, and this first member is fluorine. It's known as halogens. Why it is known as halogens? Halo means easily leaving. In a reaction, this if there is an halogen, it will easily leave from the reactants. That's why it is known as halogens. Halo means easily leaving, and these 18th group elements are known as noble gases or inert gases because they will not undergo any reaction because their octet is complete. Hence, it will not undergo any reactions. They are noble gases. That's why they are known as noble gas family or inert gas family, etc. So this is the brief idea about our periodic table. And if you check each group, moving down the group, each shell are increasing. For example, lithium, there are only 2 shells. In the case of sodium, there are 3. In the case of potassium, it is 4. So moving down the group, number of shells also increasing. And this lanthanides and actinides known as inner transition metals. And in the left side of periodic table, it all are metals. In the right side, we can see non-metals, and in the middle we can see some metalloids. Metalloids are the compound which show both the properties of metals and non-metals. And this is the brief introduction or brief idea about our periodic table. So in next class, we'll see the features of more features of modern periodic table and the properties of the periodic table. Okay. So I hope all of you understood what is a periodic table, how many groups, periods, and a brief idea of periodic table. So let's see in next class. Thank you.